Well, let's get into the dailies that we have today.
Sure. I'll start with the Daily Graphic. Now, on the front page of the Daily Graphic, by-election beckons NPP NDC invade Asen North. Well, because of James Jachukwason,
Yeah.
the work is already going on. I don't think we have a date yet, but
No, not yet.
grants work needs to start immediately. So we have the two general secretaries, doing the needful. Now, persists in partisan election of MMDCEs, Dr. Mensah to government. Ghana ranked 7th in UN peacekeeping operations. Let the flow be free. Association advocates end to period poverty. Registrar of Companies invites all registered professional bodies to a meeting on June 7, 2023.
Hashtag let the flow be free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. Well, the Finder newspaper has these headlines here. It says, your men have been effective, Dagbon Overlord tells IGP. Shareholders commend Access Bank's performance at the 15th AGM. We have lawsuit hits Petroleum Hub project. We also have, after terminating PDS concession contract into 2019, IMF deal sets ECG up for another concession. And best positioned to lead MPP to break the 8. This is Dr. Koto speaking. So the headlines on the front page of The Finder.
Now moving on to the Chronicle. Illegal miners on rampage in Adanse brutally attacked Adanse's task force. DCE blames police for failing to act. I'm assuring NPP fraternity I'll break the 8. This is Dr. Freya Kutu speaking. The funeral with political and historical antecedents. Okay, I think that's a special feature in there. Chamating declares intention to contest a Dobing NPP primary. And from June 1, the graphic will be selling at 5 cities. So for now, you can save your 1 city.
Wait,
now,
yeah, before you do the scripture.
No, the Chronicle. Yeah, the Chronicle.
Before you do the scripture.
Yeah.
What's Dr. Akuto saying?
He says we'll break the 8.
But he has to first win the primary, so.
But he knows what he knows.
Okay.
And he's assuring
okay.
that he will break the 8.
Okay.
So for those who don't know,
yeah.
he just want you to know that he is your surest bet if you guys want to break the 8. All the best, Dr. Akutu. And now the scripture. Proverbs 10:23. Doing wickedness is like sport to a fool.
Wow. Okay. No need to comment on that. The Daily Guide has these headlines. JUSA calls of strike. So they've suspended it temporarily, they claim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Going to IMF painful. Ekufuado. Minority no vote on Tokonu immaterial, says Joe Wise. Ghana ambulance in Dubai claims false. This is coming from the National Ambulance Service. And Bola Tinubu sworn in as Nigerian president. And it has a picture of the new president there.
Have you seen some videos, going on
when
he had to walk to the podium?
No.
And okay, I'll show you the video. This one, you don't talk, it's plenty.
Okay.
Right, so we move on to the ABC News. Strong signal, Baumia picks form today. Now, another one. Swami interchange critical to NPP's 2024 votes in the Ashanti region. This is coming from the regional chairman, Wuntumi. Now, it looks like the Swami interchange is not interchanging.
No, but
the interchange is not interchanging.
No, but you see, look.
I like the passion with which the chairman spoke.
Yeah, but you see, the truth of the matter is that when you look at Obechebe Labde, which has stalled, you look at Tishi, Dugwa Road, which has stalled. I hear they're supposed to be starting today or something.
Yeah.
But when you look at all these projects that have sort of ground to a halt temporarily,
yeah.
Swami.
No, but you know the story surrounding the Swami interchange and all that, and how come government had to move in quickly and promptly to go do something there. Now, if it turns out that that won't happen, that would be a recipe for disaster, man. You remember the HMS Abosu going there and all the...
There's such a water flying across the things.
So if you know, let the interchange.
Yes, I mean,
Or else, well, let me just continue. Now, in an editorial, BOG has not pulled out of Gold for Oil program. And in the central region, Akufo-Addo commissions Elmina Fishing Harbour.
All right. The New Crusading Guide has these headlines. It says there's more blessing in giving than receiving. Reverend Anubu reveals. You know, it's a scripture. So when it says Reverend Anubu reveals.
No, he's throwing more light on it.
Okay. MVP presidential race. Baumia picks forms today. Illegal lotto operator dribbles draw winners. Over 1 million cities win. NLA to apply sanctions. So the people have been winning, and then he has been swerving them of their money.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, the people are not tired of doing wicked though.
It's like a sport to the full.
It's a sport to have to the. That's a scripture part.
Yeah, that's a sport to the full.
I'll break the 8 and make Ghana prosperous. Dr. Afriya Akotso. FDA's Rhoda Appiah adjudged Corporate Communications Personality of the Year, and Maslock supports Complementary Education Agency in Yindi with logistics.
Now the overseer, I'm not sure I know this
There
paper.
is a new paper. It came about a month ago. That's the first time I saw it. I saw it about a month ago for the first time.
Editor Kujama Jr. Okay. Right, so on the front page of the Overseer, Supreme Court ruling on Assin North, New Adubiase MP joins NDC supporters and residents to hold vigil. Now, jostling for Mahama's running mate begins, comes with a photograph of some personalities who are hoping, or who people think should be or qualify to be the running mate for former President John Mahama. It has Leslie Mensah Tamaklo, Honorable Julius Deborah Kwame Wadakon, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman, Honorable Sylvester Mensah, and Honorable Eric Opoku. Now, also on the front page, a world of clean, renewable energy is close to realization. NPP does not care about Ashanti's development. Stop voting for them. This is coming from Akwesi Mankwa.
All right. I have the Daybreak. And on the front page of the Daybreak, we have a minister sponsors candidate against NPP in Ashanti. Produce my son dead or alive. Missing cop mother tells police. Baumia picks forms today, and I'll defend Nigeria from terror and extreme poverty. This is coming from the newly sworn in president of Nigeria, and we have a financial process for Abidjan-Lagos Highway starts last quarter.
Now, the Economic Times, trade surplus improves, records $1.6 billion US. Interest rates remain unchanged, and banks' recapitalization, government support to be conditional on long-term profitability.
All right, the Anchor has these headlines. It says, farmers, Kwadaso constituents, abandon Afriya Akoto. Is that not his constituency?
That's his constituency, and we will not allow them abandon him.
Oh, but they have abandoned.
No, we'll go back to them. You can't do that. What's that?
This is the headline. It says that farmers, Kwadaso constituents, abandon Afriya Akoto as market women take over his campaign. You know, market women were responsible for Nkrumah's CPP control of the votes at the, you know, in his time. So maybe the market women will show the power here. I mean,
everybody has one vote.
Yeah, so, you know, and there are a lot.
Oh, yeah.
NDC
I my business for them. We need to sell plantain and yam at the ministry for them. You want to abandon him. What do you mean by that?
Well, let me continue. NDC Special White faces Supreme Court today. Yeah. Maslock supports Complementary Education Agency with logistics in Yindi. Now, Busa South MP funds projects in communities, donates over 500 bags of cement and trips of sand as well as gravel. You know, I wonder sometimes about these things, like, you know, this one about Professor White, for example, that as he was saying the things he was saying, he was aware he was talking about the Supreme Court, and he was saying them. you know.
But he came out with explanations and stuff.
No, but he came out with an apology.
Yeah.
You know.
Earlier an explanation,
and
then later an apology.
Anyway.
But still, they say that you come.
No. Apology is not.
You come and apologize properly to us.
No, how is apology?
Anyway, before we also join, let's move on. Now, on the front page of the BNFT, Citi faces pressure amid U.S. debt ceiling negotiations. BOG virtual InfoSec partner on Finance Industry Cybersecurity Center. GAP urges comprehensive plan to address loopholes in credit culture. Concerns heightened over declining oil production. Time to deepen interest in local poultry industry.
All right. Fantastic.
Yeah.
You know,
so that's my final paper.
So
yes.
If the Supreme Court was ever to call me, will you go with me?
It depends on what.
Okay.
No, I won't just go and print T-shirt and go. But if you do nya, you're on your own.
We stand for David.
We stand for David. You go and do it as if anybody will follow you. Make sure that for whatever reason they will call you, it makes sense. Otherwise, I'm saying it here and now. I don't go and print any T-shirt, go and stand in any sun and go and clap and somebody push me. I don't do that now.
All right, let's do a few Citi newsroom.com stories. Tishi residents hit streets to protest over deplorable roads. But wait, so is this like the inner roads? I'm sure maybe this is the inner roads, right? Not the main highway. They are complaining about. Yeah, the inner roads. Okay. Controversial history book, not part of textbooks, procured for GS. This is coming from NACA. There's been quite a few of these, right? Where there's several books that NACA is claiming that they've not approved it. Listen, I think we need to start prosecuting people for putting these things out, you know, in their system, because it doesn't make any sense that our students and our children are being inundated, and some teachers are insisting that certain books are standard reading text and so on, you know, for the kids. But NACA is not.
Yeah, but is NACA also, is government giving us books? Okay, I mean, in the absence of the correct books, we'll have all these people stepping in. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, but you see, there's an authority to accredit the book. So why don't people just do the right thing and let your books go through the accreditation process?
But it's not by force.
Do you see?
Do you understand? I don't want maybe my books to be in the classroom.
Okay.
But I'm just writing my books and putting them out there on bookshops. I mean, NACA has nothing to do with that.
That's true.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So if I'm writing my book and I don't want to go through any kind of stress.
But how are teachers then bringing in books that are also not approved?
Let's be mindful. Is it teachers bringing in the books or parents are buying these books? That's what I'm saying. That do we have, I mean, yesterday on Point of View, it was being discussed. Do we have approved textbooks in the schools?
That's
do you get it?
We're supposed to.
That is the question. So if the books are there, I mean, there won't be any reason for a parent to want to go and find
anything extra. It's already expensive to get all these.
Do you get where I'm coming from? So if we have the books in the schools and the teachers have these books, the students have these books, you go to the library, the books are there. Your parent doesn't have any business going out there to look for books elsewhere, unless of course we don't have the books and they find any kind of history books they buy, you know, or what we have in the schools are not adequate.
So you know what's coming to mind. The question that's coming to mind after what you said was, does GES have an approved textbook list?
They do.
So then who is monitoring that the approved textbook list is provided to all students and therefore the parents?
That is the question we should be asking. Do you get it? Because if I don't get the book in school, I will still have to find a book for my child. You get it? And so you will have to rely on some of these publishers to get the books. And the problem here is what we are encountering.
So you say that it's possible that the list is there, but there are not enough copies of the textbooks available. So then you have to find some other textbook, which is also a history book, because the official standard text for history has run out.
Exactly.
But
so
you cannot be there without any history.
For
book.
instance, we are teaching computer, computer courses and stuff like that. There are no computers.
Yeah.
So a parent will have to, I mean, if you really want your child to understand what it is, you have to find a way to augment what is being done in school.
Yeah.
And I will not say this on authority, but based on the discussions going on, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Do the schools have the approved books? Because if we have them in abundance, if for instance we can also have the approved ones on the shelves in bookshops, when a parent gets out, they have the approved ones. So naturally, I mean, if I'm going to buy a book, I will really look out for the ones that are approved, accredited ones, before I look out for what else is on the shelf. So if we have the approved ones, I mean, flouting the market, we will push all these unscrupulous people out of business.
That's true. Yeah. Anyway, well, I think it's time for sports. Let's go and do some sports review. All right, welcome back. It's time for sports review. Now, Access Bank Division 1 playoff news. We have here two former Premier League sides, Techiman 11 Wonders FC and Bofokwa Tano FC, will do battle in the Access Bank Division 1 League playoff final at the Accra Sports Stadium on Tuesday, May the 30th. 2023. Now, the two teams emerged winners from the two groups of Zone 1 at the end of the season, and now they will battle for the final promotion in next season's Bet Power Premier Ghana Premier League. Already, Nations FC and Pando Hearts of Lions have booked their place in the top flight for next season. Now, in Premier League on City stories, we have Chelsea have appointed former Tottenham and Paris Saint-Germain boss Mauricio Pochettino as their new manager. Now, the Argentine, 51 years old, begins his new role on July 1st, 2023, on a 2-year contract with an option for a further year. Now, he takes over from interim boss Frank Lampard, who guided Chelsea to 12th place in the Premier League. Now, Pochettino is Chelsea's 6th permanent manager in 5 years, following the sacking of Thomas Tuchel and Graham Potter earlier this season, which led to Lampard taking charge on a temporary basis. And that's what we have for sports this morning. From 6 coaches in 5 seasons. A bit more, bro.
Charlie, the hustle is real, man. The hustle is real. But, you know, if you come from where I do, you just sit and observe and enjoy the comedy. Cheers.
All right. Well, we're just having fun here. They here Arsenal, they are auctioning their jerseys and things now and other logistics. I'm not going to say too much about that.